Welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be exploring how to take off for site clearance, topsoil excavation, disposal or retaining using a document put forward by the Nigerian Institute of Quantities, which is Building and Engineering Standard Method of Measurement for the revised version. This is a document put forward in order to provide guidance on how to prepare a detailed tender document. Before we get into this tutorial, let's explore the brief history of the Standard Method of Measurement in Nigeria. The first edition of Standard Method of Measurement was published in 1988, known as SMMBWS, Standard Method of Measurement of Building Works and Services, and was revised in 1996 as First Impression. In 2022, BESMM2, that's the Building and Engineering Standard Method of Measurement 2, was published, the second edition, with the introduction of coding system for reference. In 2008, BESMM3 was published, the third edition, also with coding system for ease of use with AutoCAD and QS software. BESMM3 served as correction to BESMM2. BESMM4 published in 2015 for effective takeoff in January 2016. It is the review of BESMM3 with the aim of correcting all errors in test and contest, that is, typographical error, inserting and omission, removal of unnecessary features, rearrangement of contest and features, incorporating additional rules deemed necessary, and to enable the document serve its purpose more effective. BESMM4 was designed to meet the global best practice alongside the principles of similar international standard methods of measurements such as NRM2, CESMM4, and ISMM. It incorporates all work items in Part 2, Civil and Industrial Engineering, without reference to Part 1, Building and the likes. So with all being said, let's get into this tutorial. The first item on our taking off list is site clearance. So site clearance is the process by which we clear all our site of bushes, vegetation, and all the likes in order to serve as basis for our construction work. So in this situation, we might have two scenarios. One, a situation whereby the architect does not provide the site plan. What are we going to do? And also, we have a situation whereby we have the site plan. So this, we have the site plan, and for this, there is no site plan. So for this, in order to do effective takeoff, in order to allow access for temporary site activities such as mixing area, temporary site storage, temporary site meeting or site office, and the like. So we need to allow spread around the perimeter of the building or offset. The minimum we can allow is 600. So you can do as more as you want, but the minimum should be like 600 in order to allow us have space around the building and also use it for other activities. For this project, the site plan was not provided. So we are going to be introducing the offset. We are going to be using 600 mm around the perimeter of the building. 2. For this, we have the site plan, and this is the boundary of the proposed site. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this situation, there is no need for introducing spread or offset. What we need to do is just to take the dimension from this point to this point, this point to this point, since we are measuring site clearance in meters square. So just take the width and the length. So now let's get back to this site clearance. So we are going to be considering this as our width and this side as our length. So the x-axis will be the width and the y-axis will be the length. So now the total length for our width is 52,675, and the total length for our y-axis is 31,579. So let's get into the takeoff site clearance. So this is assumption. So for whosoever that is trying to go through our takeoff process, so it's going to know that we allow 600 mm around the perimeter of the site in order to allow for temporary site work. So this is it. We have it here, 600 mm. So the length 31,579, so 31,579. So 600 to one side, 600 to another side, making 2 multiplied by 2, we have 1,200. So when we add 31,579 plus 1,200, we have 32,779. So let's go back to the width. The width is 52,675. 52,675 plus the offset, that's 1 to one side and to the other side. Our total width will expand from this side to this side. So 600 here, 600 here. So 600 in two places plus 52,679. So we have 53,870. 5. Now let's go to the coding. This coding is from our BSMM. That's the standard method of measurement. So we go through it together. Now we have, this is the work we are presently doing. This is excavating and filling. That's 1.5. We have it here. Excavating and filling 1.5. So let's go to site clearance. We have site clearance here is measured in square meter. So we have site clearance, that's number 4. We have 4 here. So clearing site, so the first division, clearing site vegetation and other growth and dispose of site. 1. So site clearance, that's 4. 1. Clearing site vegetation and other growth and dispose, that's 1. Description sufficient to identify the scope and location of work. So where we are going to be dumping them, so we need to include them. So we have excavating and filling 1.5, site clearance 4, clearing site vegetation and other growth and dispose 1, off-site on a spoiled heap. So here we are telling the contractor where exactly one site vegetation and other growth to be disposed, since we are not needing it for anything on site. So this is our description. Now we need to book our calculation. So this is our length. We divide by 1000 to convert to meter. This is in mm. This is mm. We convert to meter, divide by 1000, so 32.78. So this by 53.88. Now we are done with our site clearance. Okay, let's consider this. In a situation whereby we have the site plan, what we need to do is just to come to plan and just pick the information directly without adding spread or offset. So this is, remember, this is our width and this is our length. So in booking we have 16.55 by 19.79. This is our quantity for site clearance. We just come here and pick the dimension straight because we don't need to add spread since we have the site plan. Next, topsoil excavation. This is the total length. So why are we adding spread to our topsoil excavation? If you check the section of your plan, okay, let me draw this so we can understand. The thickness of our wall, external thickness is 225. So when you multiply by 3, that's you have your footing. So the thickness of your wall, this 225 from here to here, another 225 from here to here, another 225. So when you multiply 225 by 3, we have the total dimension of this place. That's 675. So in order to cater for this side, so let me change the color so we can understand. So in order to cater for this part and this part, we are adding spread because from here to here is 250, from here to here is 250. If we did not add spread, so we are only taking our dimension from this point to this point, and we are not going to be considering the spread for our foundations or foundation footing. So that's where we are adding spread 225 to one side and 225 to the other side in order to cater for our footing. I hope you understand that. So our length 31,579 plus spread to the right and to the left. We have 225 multiplied by 2, 450. So when we add them together, we have 32,029 mm. We do the same thing for the weight. We have 53,125 mm. So the coding, topsoil excavation. So we come here, site preparation. We have topsoil excavation under site preparation and it is measured in meters squared. So we come to our coding. We have 1.5 excavating and filling. 5, we have site preparation done. 2, we have remove topsoil. So you are stating the depth. And second division, third division, we have nothing there, so it's going to represent 0, 0. So our coding is going to be 1.5 .5.2.00 1.5 .5.2.00. So excavating and filling, site preparation, remove topsoil, and this is the thickness of our topsoil. That's 150 mm. So we are going 150 mm deep. So this is our booking 32.03. So when you divide this by 1000, you have 32.03, and the width we have 53.13 divided by 1000. We have, I hope that is clear. So now this part might be in 2, or depending on what you wanted to achieve, you might retain the topsoil because it's rich in, it's a loamy soil and it's very rich. It can be used for green area, so you can choose to retain it on site. Or if you don't need it, you have another option for your green area, you can dispose it. So you can either retain or dispose topsoil excavation. So now it's just bringing our topsoil excavation, the quantity multiplied by the thickness of our topsoil removal. So you bring in the total quantity of our topsoil multiplied by the thickness. So now let's go to retain. So we are going to be considering retaining and disposal since they are the same process. So let's check, where do we have retaining? Okay, retaining excavated material, it is measured in meter cube. That's the length, the width, and the depth or thickness. So we have 10 under excavating, which is 1.5. We have 10, it is measured in meter cube. So what are we retaining? Topsoil material. Where are we going to store it? The second division to temporary spoil it on site. You are going to specify the area. So if there is any specified handling or anything, you are going to state it here. But if you don't have anything, you can leave it, or you can also leave this work to the discretion of the contractor on site. So depending on the agreement on the contract. So now let's go. Excavating and filling, that's 1.5. 10, I showed you retaining excavated material. 1, topsoil. Where are we going to store the excavated material? To temporary spoil heap, 200 meter off site. So that's somewhere around the site. So our quantity now, this is our length as we have here, this is our width, and this is the thickness. So it is measured in meter cube. So if you are going to be disposing it also on site, so let's consider that this is disposal. Groundwater is measured in items. Disposal, excavated material. So excavated material, that's we have topsoil under excavated material. Destination, if not at the contractor's discretion, so you can specify the area, maybe 1 kilometer off site or anywhere. So this division, there is nothing here. So if you are going to be doing this, is going to be 1.5, that's disposal, dot 9, dot 2. You notice we have 1 here as groundwater, dot 2, dot 1, dot 0. So dot 2, dot 1, dot 0. So that's going to be excavating and filling. Disposal, that's 9. Disposal, what are we disposing? Excavated material to where? Maybe 1 kilometer offsite. Destination, if not left to discretion of the contractor, 2 and 0 and 0. So until when next, I'll be seeing you on another tutorial. You're welcome.